Welcome guys to another adventure, VIP TV all the way. As always, trying to give you a bit of entertainment. Nice Saturday morning, myself and Geth and Durham travelled down from Wales. Geth's just about to cast out. I've got 2 rods straight out already, and the target for the day is blonde ray. Now it's quite early, a little bit of green in the water, and the mayweed comes through, what sucks all the oxygen out unfortunately, but I'm going to quick get on with it really because he's waiting to cast out, but we'll let him cast out and then we'll get right back into it. Right, here he is, the man himself, Geth and Durham. We're down here once again. Last time we were down here, Christmas special.
Yeah.
A little bit easier for you this time, you knew what to expect.
A lot easier, to be honest.
Yeah. I won't go through all the equipment we were doing, guys, obviously, maybe another production or something. But we're trying some new cameras out today in the sound, so if the sound's different than normal, I do apologise, because I'm really not sure how it's going to be, but it seems to be the way forward. And both of us have got the equipment on, so I'm hoping the sound quality is going to improve. That's at the end of the day, this is the whole thing of what we're doing. The other thing which it enables us to do with the VIP stuff is to put stuff forward, and at the end of the day I'm about trying to help people, and that's the whole reason Sea Angle Adventures started in the beginning, and it enables me to help the ones that I want to help, the ones that are viewing it for the content and what we're about, rather than just trying to find fishing marks out and stuff like that. So it's been going well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Some really good views. We started off, we had that stingray one when we went up on the stingrays. You managed to do the business in the final moments, mate, didn't you? But it was hard days fishing, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was right at the end, wasn't it? If it wasn't for that one fish, it would have been a bit of a...
Yeah, we've had a couple of trips, but there seems to be a few smooth hounds up the Bristol Channel. Thinking about going up Sunday to have a go. And Monday maybe a bit of breaming, that's what we're thinking at the minute, but nothing in 100% definite. We'll see how we get on down here today. I mean, if we come down here today and hit a £20 blonde each, no doubt we're probably down here living on here for the weekend. But it is slightly green in the water. The colourings come from the mayweed. Now when the mayweed comes in, if you get it early enough, it don't tend to like put the fish off. This is our first trip down here this year, and I'm just hoping we've hit it early enough. When we come down here, Geth said to me, look at the birds diving, the gannets coming down, smashing the fish in front. Normally that's like mackerel, and they're hammering down, trying to hammer the mackerel. And we had a mackerel last time we came here, didn't we? Yeah. Which was all right.
Yeah,
but
we did.
Hopefully, a little bit of a breeze in there, mate.
Yeah.
A little bit of a breeze. Don't know how that's going to pay on the fishing today, but it's going to stop you from wellying them out slightly. There's a lot of side wind. But hopefully we'll get on with the production and let's see a few fish out. Well, so here we are, just trying to get a bit comfortable. It's an absolutely nightmare of a mark, which for comfort, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible.
Known as Webby's Rock. It's a rock which I sort of like, I don't know, I like the look of, and there was a few of us looked at a couple of the rocks, and it was probably the hardest one out of 2 to get on, and I was like, I'm getting there, I'm making sure we get in there. So it took a lot of preparation between another 3 of us, and a lot of hard work, and we managed to basically make it able to us to get to the mark, which is quite impressive really, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of hard work and a lot of hours went into accessing these rocks we're on today, and it's paid off, to be honest. I mean, although a lot of the other marks around what will produce rays and that, and I've had more rays off here in the time I fished it than I've had off the other marks. With, I don't know, I'm not sure why really. We've got a lot of tide where we are. We're probably the furthest point out towards where the tide's going to drift off the headland, and it's definitely, it's the good thing I like about it as well. You can leave work and come down here and just fish. You know what I mean? You haven't got to worry about crowds, nothing. I know, like the gear, what we got. Obviously, you need the right gear and the right equipment to be doing it. Like, well, The Petzl harness and that we got, I think it was about a few £100. But as I said with Geth's got that ID there, what he's been using, my ID, to make sure he's safety all the time. And at the end of the day, I've been using the just a normal figure of 8 straight down. You know what I mean? And really, you should be using an ID or something of that sort. So if you connected to the rope at all times, isn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something you're going to pick up, innit? You've got your harness and stuff. But I'm quite confident with climbing and stuff. But we were just talking a minute ago, me and Geth, about tuna, because me and Adam were down here one day, and I would say probably 500 or 600 yards off the coast here, we've seen something massive jumping out of the water. And after obviously sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes watching it, it was tuna. It was an amazing sight, something I've never seen before. Have you seen them before?
Yeah, I've seen them jumping around, but I've been sharking on the boats.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them off land yet.
It's quite an impressive sight to see. I know people have seen it off Chesil and that as well.
They're huge.
They are huge. They are huge.
They're like tanks.
You've actually looked into it a little bit, haven't you? Because you want to catch one from the shore.
Getting a stand-up sharking kit for they use on the beaches in Florida and places like that.
Yeah.
Big 80 wide reel full of 150 pound braid.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's something which I've always said it down here. Like, I'd love to catch like a porgy or a fresher from the shore. And a lot of people say, oh, you wouldn't do it, you wouldn't do it. It's possible. I know porgies have been caught off the shore, and that you know what I mean?
It's prime. It's absolutely prime, the British Isles is for porgies.
Yeah, definitely. So I remember a mark not too far away from where I am now. Me and my mate were fishing high water, and it was a little bit rougher than it is now. It was borderline whether you can fish it or not. And over high tide, off the peak of the rock, and I'm not talking casting distance, I'm talking like throwing distance. All I seen was a big fin come out the water, and then afterwards all you can see the tail. But after obviously looking into a bit more into it, it would have been a porgy. Because freshers have got a massive tail, you can tell, but it's thing.
Basking sharks are huge as well.
Yeah, it wasn't. You
can see a basking shark. The mouths are open half the time.
It was definitely like a porgy. But Gav Cuthbertson, another fellow Sea Angling Adventurers, he come to a different mark again. Come down over the cliff one day, and he saw a big shark. And a lot of people say that it was a tuna, but you can tell the difference between the way a tuna moves. A tuna sort of like comes off like that, where a shark moves the back of his tail, like moves like that. 100% shark. I think he's got the video of it on his phone. I'll see if I can get it. If I can, I'll include it in the video. But yeah, it was impressive, and his mate come down over and seen this, and especially where we are now, there's no reasons why you wouldn't catch sharks here now.
Plenty of mackerel about, plenty of big fish.
You were saying a good idea a minute ago about the chum bag, didn't you?
Yeah, you put an anchor buoy out and put your chum bag off the anchor buoy. You have no metal clip on top of the buoy to hold your line in place, and then you drift the mackerel on a float behind the buoy.
Yeah.
Well, just an idea that I've seen on YouTube. Going about there will probably be a bit harder than what it actually sounds. Worth try one day though. Definitely,
mate. I had a little bite then, Geth, and it wasn't a run, but it was like a nice pull down on the right rod. Like a mackerel. We had mackerel last time we were down here, so I'm not saying we won't get mackerel again today. Obviously, when we're coming down over, you've seen them smashing the Gannett smashing the mackerel when we come down, didn't we?
Yeah.
But basic setups, guys. Basic setups. I've got me SUs as always. Geth's got his T900s. Both got casting specials. He's kept the knob on his at the minute.
Yeah, they don't.
You need those dials. You need those dials.
They don't bother me too bad.
Don't they? No.
Nah, not
no,
really.
He's got used to it now. But I need a new butt cap there.
Yeah.
I think I got one at home. You can have. I'll have a look when I get back.
Been like that for about a year now.
Is it?
Yeah. Tell myself every time I use it I'll get one.
Yeah, it's
never get around to it.
No. Definitely worth it, protecting the bottom of the butt though, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit of tape. See, you try to do it in the tape actually, didn't you? But yeah, as always, out trying to get some fish. But yeah, we just got to, I don't know, it's one of them at the minute. We've got to keep trying, haven't you? The green, I think, is going to play a big part with the way they say it takes a lot of the oxygen away from the water. And obviously with the mayweed, I think, like Geth said, if you hit it early, we'll be alright here. And hopefully, because we haven't had a lot of warm weather, like you said, we might have got away with it. Only time will tell, because it is very green. I like to see crystal blue. A lot of, like Geth, when he come down here originally, brought him down here, a lot of the Raymocks he goes up to on his coastline, very dirty water. And obviously scent is a big key part within that big bait scent when you're catching blondes. But you come down here, and I remember when I took Cookie to a mark down here, he come down and he went to walk right past the mark and he went, "What, this is it?" And it was like he was probably on one of the #1 big blonde ray marks in the whole of the UK. And he didn't even realise he was on it. It's like, no way, here, in about like 4 foot of water. And it's great. It's amazing, really, what actually bring these fish into the shorelines. But if you look right out behind us now, you go out probably 600 or 700 yards. That's reef, just rough ground. And yes, it is amazing why, whether, I don't know, a lot of people say different things, but for me, was that a reel then? For me, they're coming into sport, like purse up basically, and obviously with the clean ground and the rough grounds around where we are, the rocks and stuff, it's a perfect place for them to come in. And it's like, you know what I mean, it's basic sand, isn't it? There's nothing there. But we haven't seen a fellow angler, which is always a good thing. What you find is, and this is what I quite enjoy about the VIP and that, is because we get a lot of people on the normal channel just watch to see where we are and that, and it frustrates me, it really does. And you put a video on there, and we've got a subscriber on the main channel which puts a thumb down every time, and you're like, really? You know what I mean? And they don't even watch the video, within seconds, thumb down, it's ridiculous. But it's nice to be able to include everything and what we're doing, and like where we are and bits and pieces like that. And obviously local lads will know, they'll be straight on it. As soon as they see a picture on there, they're straight down. They won't put the hard work in like we are, coming down to try and see if they can get one out. I remember the other year I had a fish out, and within the next night, I'd never seen no one for like weeks and weeks and weeks. As soon as I got fish out, put a picture on, the following night there's people coming down because they know they're there. They won't put the hard work in, but they'll sit back and just wait for photos, which you've got to be switched on a little bit now. I'm a bit more switched on about it. Is it like your side, isn't it?
Oh, my side's ruined.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done.
So they picked a picture of a blonde ray on like fryers and stuff like that.
You've got half of Britain there.
Half of Britain there. Even English is loud, aren't they?
Everyone's here now.
Yeah. But it's trouble. You imagine it. They always say South Wales is probably the best place to fish for rays in the whole of the United Kingdom, I would say. Yeah. For the majority numbers. But Geth's travelled all the way down here today, because where we're fishing, you've got potential to catch a British record. You've got a chance of catching a 30-pound plus blonde ray from the shore. I mean, I don't know what the record actually is off the boat, but this very place we are today, you have the chance of beating the boat record. You really do. You get that big pursed up female coming inshore to purse up, and when you're lucky enough to hit into it, you've got a real fight on your hands. And obviously with the depth of water you're targeting, I remember a guy marine biologist I was chatting to one day in a tackle shop, and he was saying to me, it amazes me how you actually catch these rays that side off the shore, because when they're fishing off the boats and they're uptiding off the boats and they're catching big blonde rays. I've never actually caught a big blonde ray from the boat, have you? No? But he was saying that they struggle to get them off the bottom, even with the uptiders. They're like trying to get them up. Once they're up, they fight like hell. And it amazes him how, obviously in the depth of water we're fishing, how we're actually managing to get them to the shoreline. And it's they do good. They all do fight well. Obviously you're going to always get the rays that don't fight well. The spotteds for me are probably one of the best fighting, if I'm totally honest. And you've got a chance of a 7 or 8 pound spotted down here. You know what I mean? It's one of those areas. Got a chance of a British record small-eyed. It's an area which is very hard to fish, and it doesn't show many rewards. But those who put the hours into it will reap the rewards. And obviously the other year I wanted a big blonde ray. It took me 69 trips that year. But on the 69th trip, I saw 3 rays out within that 69 trips. A lot of blank sessions. But the big one I found was £27 2 ounce, so it was a show, isn't it?
Well worth it.
Yeah, it made it all worth it. That wind is absolutely mental. Well, you weren't expecting this today, by the way?
No.
I wouldn't mind having a go at that, you know. Bit of tuna fishing off the shore. We are going to do one next year. We're going to go over to Fort Ventura. Now, Geth's done a lot over Fort Ventura in the last few years, haven't you?
Yeah.
How many years ago have you been over there now?
I've been 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times, yeah. To me, you've obviously gone for the stingrays every time you leave.
Yeah, big stingrays.
Big stingrays, but I do fancy going over and go for the gilts, because they get some good big gilts over there as well, don't they?
Massive gilts.
Yeah. Big 40-50 pound smooth ounce, why not? Why not? But we're going to get on with the session now. We're going to try and bring in these baits to see if they've been smashed. Another thing we're up against at the moment, it will be spider crabs, no doubt. So let's see if we still got some hooks, fingers crossed, and we'll get on and hopefully catch a fish. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get our hooks back. Get our hooks back, be nice. Very windy. Don't know how much you're going to be picking up on that. It's like a trial run with these mics today and the equipment we're using. We're trying to keep the same quality as always, and at the same time lower the weight, so we're getting to places and we're not having to carry loads and loads of gear. But the bait is stripped. Bait is stripped, which isn't the end of the world. I can live with that as long as I've got my hooks back. And I've got my hooks back. A good way of seeing if you've got any spiders and that around is yeah, something's been having a go at the bait, but hasn't done much damage to my trace. With this type of fishing, it's always worth checking your traces. I mean, the last thing you want to do is hit into that fish of a lifetime and lose him due to obviously getting meat away from the shore and something going. I always scale up. I know a lot of people use like the specimen extra sort of style works. I've gone for an uptide extra there, 7.0, and I've got a 6.0 octopus on the top. Now actually that octopus has had some, I've caught some very good fish on it. My big turbot I had 11.6, a 27 pound 2 ounce Splon ray, both come on that top hook. So let's get to it. So what I'm going to do, towel, some scissors. I should be a bit more prepped for this really. I'm going to sit down here. You're actually sitting on a rod bag. I've cut my finger already. These rocks are very, very sharp. And yeah, so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go for a sand eel. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a sand eel. But I'm going to add a bit of hooker's bait squid. Loves a bit of hooker's bait squid, so I do. So, just quality at the end of the day, guys. I know a lot of you, it don't really make no difference where you buy your bait. Everybody have your own choices. I don't know why, and I've never given this tip before. I'm going to share it with you VIPs. Now, people come down here and they don't have no joy. And they're saying, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm using all the same baits, I'm using all the same equipment and stuff like that, yeah? There's a mark which I don't fish much anymore. I used to fish it, but I don't bother because it gets numbers. I'd rather come somewhere like this where I haven't got to fight over the mark. I know I can get down and it's basically our mark, like, you know what I mean? I don't really pay much time down there, but I know guys will go down there and they've never seen a ray down here and they're saying, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? This is what you're doing wrong. Sand eel will see small eyes, sand eel will see spotted, sand eel will still see blondes. But by adding this little bit, and I don't know what it is, just seems to do the business. And it's this simple. A strip of squid. Honestly, people would say, you're talking rubbish. I'm not. You will not believe how much of a tip I've actually give you there. And I wouldn't be saying this on normal all day unless it was a VIP, because at the end of the day there's lots of local people which would give their left, right hands or finger to have that information, and it does play a very big part in it. Just that little thing, there'll be people fishing next to each other and they're not catching nothing, and they're like, what am I doing wrong, what am I doing wrong? And I've just told you there, squid is the key. I don't know what it is. I put it down to the bulk of the bait. You know what I mean? It gives it extra scent. I'm gonna be truthful, totally truthful with you. I've always used sand eel down here, and then I obviously started using the squid as well. But as you'll find out in a minute, if I'm honest, and I can only bring one bait down here, it wouldn't be either. And people would say, no way, Webby, you're not going to bring sand eel. Bluey. I'll tell you what, the last time I come down here, and Geth always said as well, up at like his coastline, he loves bluey. And like, if I got the channel in that, but I've never heard of anybody using it down here. And I thought, I'm going all out, I'm just going to fish bluey. And I did, and outfished sand eel. And it's crazy really, isn't it? But it actually outfished the sand eel. So there's me bait anyway. There's me bait. So I'm going to guess this one out, and I'm going to come back and I'm probably going to go, got a sand eel there, probably going to go for a bit of bluey. A cool bag, very important. Geth's bought his cool bag today. It's always worth zipping him back up as well. Keep everything in there cool. Towel. Rig wise, same again. I've been having a lot of success with this rig over the last few years, and if I'm raying, to be honest, I won't go without it. It's a running up and over. Geth was using them on the stingrays last time, and I think he's normally used the pulley rig, but he had exactly the same success with using it. I'm going to get this one out now. I haven't got a lot of room. It's one of the most uncomfortablest place to fish. As I said, you've got room to wind it up, but you're restricted what way you can cast. So at the end of the day, I've got to try and use the wind to my advantage. Very important to get my feet placement, because when I come to turn around, so I'm basically going to come out, so in, around. And he's there. It's a little bit of a sandbar, I would say about 90 to 100 yards out, trying to get our baits over the sandbar. You can tell when you have done, because when you start reeling the back in, there'll be sand around the reel of your line. It's where you sat, where it's just been dug in. Another one stripped. So as I said, I'm going to go. I've got a bit of squid there. I'm going to go for a bit of bluey. I've got total confidence in this. Yeah. And just going to wrap the squid around it. Trouble is, it's not got a very good texture, bluey, and it seems not to last very long when you put it on as a bait on its own. It's not a very tough bait really. When you mix it with a bit of squid, it sort of plays its own part in it. This is something to bind to. But 7-0 upside extra, straight down through the bait like that. From halfway up. Drop the bait down. Come around it 3 times, and I'm going to go up through the bait like that then. bring it out the side of the bait like that. It's got one hook point on one side and a hook point on the other side. It's just preference really. It's messy, but with messy you've got scent, and I think even though we're fishing clear water, I don't think you can beat a bit of scent, especially for rays. He loves a bit of bloodiness, doesn't he? So that is bait elastic. Definitely needed a towel. Geth's turned the bait up now, I think. Throw that off. The way this rig works is simple. So basically what you've got, I've got a swivel on the top, and then I've got my link clip there. Alright, so the way it goes onto my shock leader, upside down link clip from Gemini goes onto that, down to my lead, and obviously that comes up, and I can cut down, the good thing about it, I can cut down the size of the trace if I need to. You know what I mean? So if you're using longer rigs than that, but I'll let Geth get on the bait station, I'm going to cast out, and hopefully we can get a fish out. Okay guys, so not much to shout about at the minute, unfortunately. The wind is picking up dramatically, and the seagulls are back to the left hand side of us in the bay. They're literally smashing down at the water. Obviously mackerel, some of the shows of mackerel, something going on there, but there's one seagull in particular who keeps dive bombing them. But it's very windy. Geth's had one slight run. That's all we've had on the ratchet so far. But what do you reckon, Geth?
Yeah, the wind's a bit the wrong direction.
It is. You're not even going to pick it up because I've double checked the sound. Very impressed with the sound quality, guys, to be honest. To be able to pick it up like we have and not have any of the interference that we're getting at the moment in our faces, and this will just determine, because at the end of the day, one of the main things with what we're doing is raising the quality, and at the end of the day, it's having the right gear for the job. Now, a lot of the venues we go to, trying to carry around heavy camera equipment is a pain in the backside. So we've sort of like got rid of some of the older gear, and we've upgraded it to new gear, and focusing on the quality really at the same time. And it seems to be doing the business. For the quality sort of side, I don't think you can go wrong really, can you? No. But the sound is one of the main issues. As with everything with fishing, you're on the open coast, you've got obviously heavy winds, what are like smashing in our faces now as we're talking to the camera. I'm hoping you're not picking it up too much, but it isn't nice, it isn't pleasant. But yeah, it's about to blow me hat off me, to be honest. It's quite strong, isn't it?
It's rough.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you come all the way down here today?
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you got to have a laugh. I lost my, oh, I'm so gutted, I ain't going to lie. These Tronic Pro rig winder wallets, yeah? I goes to show off this little gadget I got for the lenses. It's like a filter. So in different light conditions, it gives you like different. I've got a feeling that was the wind, but it gives you a different, like, more cinematic experience. And as I went to go and show it off to Geth, my rig wallet come right out of it and took a kite in the wind. It's about 4 meters out in the water to my left hand side in a minute. I'll get a picture in a minute. And my old mate Geth said, I'll go in for you in a minute, so just looking forward to getting it back in a minute, you know what I mean? Good old boy. There's not many people get in the water this time of year and go and get their rig wallet back for a mate, would they, Geth? Hey?
I'll load your shoes.
Oh yeah, I bet you will. I'll tell you what, I'll be lost without it. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to strip off. I don't think I can. It's an hard one because it's freezing. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do.
Looking at you.
But yeah, it is sat there. Oh, I don't know. What do you do? Do you go and get it? I might have to. I don't think I can live with myself if I don't. So it looks like Webby's getting wet at the end of this trip, if it's still there. But yeah, at the moment that's all from us, but all we can do is keep trying. But we'll also do a little production of the day. At the end of the day, it's fishing, guys. You can't catch every time, and especially where we are today, to actually see a fish out would be the one, really.
Yeah,
we had results last time we were down. I want to see Geth get one more than me. He's travelled a long way down, you know what I mean? And all you can do is put them on the right marks. As I can say with anybody what comes down here. All the guys I've brought down this sort of neck of the woods before, over the years, I know guys what put like 10 trips in, not seen a ray. I know guys what put 2 or 3 trips in and seen one on the first chuck, like, you know what I mean? I remember going to Norway with Lee Treeby many years ago. Someone remember some of his adventures with Treeby Tales. Lovely guy, lovely character, and he was a good laugh to go fishing with and that. And he went over to Norway, done a lot of mulleting and gilting and stuff like that, and bassing back over here, and never had any joy in the rays and stuff. Took him out, and first session he had a spotted. He had a small line second, and I think he had a couple of spotteds within the first 10 trips, and small lines. But it goes to show, I know guys have been up and down these coastlines and for years and not seen fish. But you've got to know the tides, you've got to know your area, you've got to. It's a sort of area you've got to study. Same with North Wales, really, and stuff like you go, isn't it?
Yeah.
West Wales and stuff. It's knowledge.
Yeah, it's
When to go and when not to go. Hey, mate?
Same sort of marks, really.
Except from a lot deeper water up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar headland, isn't it? Except from the places you go up there, it's a lot longer walks.
A bit safer as well, I'd say.
They probably are a bit safer, but then yeah, you haven't got the adrenaline side of it, so to speak, because it is quite interesting. It's not when you get to the top and you've got to come all the way. You get down to the bottom, you think, oh dear, then you've got to go back up the top and someone's forgotten something. It's like that. I got me going 4 times. First time I come up here, I was up and down like a yo-yo. Today I got to the bottom, I thought, yes. And then I got to go back up to the top. Oh, brilliant. It's brilliant. But at the end of the day, safety is the main focus, you know what I mean? It's got to be done safely. I'm quite experienced with that sort of thing, and you know what I mean? I go down on a figure of 8, and I know that I've got to where I've got to hold the rope. And I would never ever, I've got to say it in the video, guys, if you want to ever try rock climbing, never just go out and get a rope and try it with your fishing gear on, right? It's a dangerous, you're talking rock climbing and stuff like that, it's hard enough as it is without all the gear what you got to go with it. And we went and done a lot of courses and like learned how to use the equipment properly before we done that. And the same as Geth now. I wouldn't see Geth coming down where we went to today using a figure of 8. I wouldn't feel comfortable with taking him. He's got an ID, he's got my ID, he's fixed to the rope at all times. And he knows when he goes off the one rope, he connects the other. You've done a lot of it before, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, but obviously not with the equipment you got. But so me and added to that, we especially come down at Gav. We come down, it's like rods on your back of you, it's all tied up and that, and you're up and down it within seconds, really. But yeah, it doesn't take long, but it's just one of them, isn't it? You obviously got to know what you're doing, and for anybody going out, and you've got marks all around, tope marks, ray marks, bass marks, like Cornwall, Wales, Scotland. There's always going to be areas what you want to get to, and sometimes rope's the only way down. But at the end of the day, if you ever think about doing that sort of thing, safety at all times, guys. You know what I mean? But I'm just hoping we see a fish out. I really do. It'd be nice to show something for the camera. It's never nice to see a production without fish. But we're trying. That's what we're here for. And the session could end up with a £30 blonde, £20 blonde. You never know. It's just all of them. We're going to give it the prime times, really, because high water now. It's got to be about half-hour time now, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. It's about 10 o'clock this morning, and we're going to fish at half tide back. So we're basically going to fish at 3 hours up, 3 hours down, and see what we can get out. And it's I don't know if you can see this in front of us now. You've got to go right out in front. It's hovering over the water, and all of a sudden he'll go up, and then he'll come straight back down and dive bomb the water. Plenty of mackerel out there if you wanted mackerel. But all we can do is try, guys. All we can do is try. But yeah, let's get some more baits out then. Boys and girls, it is absolutely freezing, and I mean absolutely freezing. You're not going to take full example of how real bad this is today, because the mics do a very good job of it, but coming from my left hand side, the wind is howling through, as I could probably show you with his rod bag. Oh mate. I'll put it back because I'm not going swimming for that one. But it's challenging conditions. It really is challenging conditions. I mean, we've given it our all at a minute. We've been down here, bait after bait after bait, and unfortunately, nothing's come about. Over the top of the tide now, and we've got about 2.5 hours. I'm going to give it to half tide down, see if we can get a fish out. There's a little bit of tide out there, but to be honest, the wind is playing a big part in the side wind, and every time we're casting out, the lines are going straight down the coastline. But we're managing to get the distance we needed, just keeping that lead nice and low and hitting it as hard as we can. And we're over the sandbar anyway, so it's one of them really. But I think Geth is about to bait up again and get another one out there, so we'll get him doing that. But it is challenging Saturday conditions, it really is. Hopefully we can pull a fish out. That's all you can ask for, isn't it, really? But we're out giving it a go for you, as always. But yeah, it's a shame because the forecast give it really light winds, and it gives real hot conditions, and it's absolutely freezing cold. The only thing what could get even worse now, and I'm not even going to say the rain word, which I just did. Geth's face looks terrified. He looks terrified. He's left Wales where it was nice and sunny to what was the forecast? 0 to 3 mile-an-hour winds with bright sunshine. Yeah. Oh, he loves coming down to the West Country. He really does. But it's all we can do. It's all we can do. It's the swell's like sort of like surging up close in and hitting the rocks to the right and left of us. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can see something out. It's not looking likely at the minute, but you've got to be in it with it, haven't you? I mean, the wind is absolutely howling at us at the minute. It's not a nice day at all. Forecast we're 6 to 8 mile an hour, northeasterly, swinging round more easterly now, not side wind. It's restricting our distance a lot today, isn't it? And unfortunately we haven't managed to catch, and it's just part and parcel, especially the area we're fishing, targeting the type of fish we're fishing. It's always a gamble. There's a lot of green in the water for the mayweed, maybe that's playing a big part in it. Spider crabs are definitely in, which doesn't help either, but you've got to, at the end of the day, especially this type of fishing, you just got to give it your all, wouldn't you? Yeah, it's a long way down for Geth to come down, and that the second trip down here now. You normally say within 10 trips, hopefully you see a ray out. That's why I always look at it down this coastline. I mean, nothing's ever, it's always a gamble. Nothing's ever dead set. Tides and conditions might be perfect, but you can never guarantee the fish, so you've just got to be there. But you've got to be in the right place at the right time. Without being in those places, you're not going to catch what you want to catch. So anyway, got some more fishing over the weekend. Hopefully we can get out and have a go for a few smuts tomorrow, eh, mate? Be good, and then possibly a bit of breathing on Monday. Bank holiday weekend. Nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. But for me and Geth, we're going to do a long hike back up now. I hope you enjoy your bank holiday weekend. I know it's not no fishing this episode, guys, but at the end of the day, sometimes that's fishing. So I will do a little something for you with it. But for me and Geth, tight lines, see you in another adventure. Yeah, I'll go first if you want.
Okay, no one's wrong there then. There's no fucking pins in that.
What's that?
The side.
Hello, Dad. Go on, you go first.
I nearly fell off when I did, but I know you didn't. Get on my knee.
monkey bar it from underneath.
Well, that's what I was thinking of doing.
You got your GoPro on?
No, not yet, but... We're at the end yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, almost there.
Yeah.